She sang the magic song and blew the 3 kisses with a sputter. The pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. My goodness, she knew the 3 kisses, right? Oh, Grazia, thank you, Straganona, the people cried. But they turned on poor Big Anthony. String him up, the men of the town shouted. Now wait, said Straganona. The punishment must fit the crime. And she took a fork standing from the lady nearby and held it out to Big Anthony.
Yes.
Gotta clean it all up. How do you think he's gonna do it? All right, Anthony. You wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot, Straganona said. And I want to sleep in my little bed tonight. So start eating. And he did. Poor Big Anthony. Look at his stomach. Do you think you'd feel sick if you had to eat all that pasta?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see how much pasta that was? That was probably enough pasta to fill this whole room. A lot of pasta, huh?
That's a lot.
But it always makes me want to eat spaghetti. Probably going to have spaghetti for dinner tonight. All right. So, when he wrote that book in 1975, it was a big hit. Everybody loved it. And so there was a big demand. And in 1998, he wrote Big Anthony, his story. So do you remember Big Anthony from the last book? He's the one who didn't know about the 3 kisses and boiled up all that pasta, right? So he wrote this book in 1998, many years later, because so many people wanted to know where Big Anthony came from. They loved it. He was so silly. They wanted to know more about his life. So what do you think he was like before he met Straganona? Well, we're about to find out. So there he is, Big Anthony, his story. All right. I'm going to start over here. On little Anthony's first birthday, do you see him? He's all little. Oh, I can't see that. He's all little. Can you see? Little baby. Just about the size of that cat. So he's little Anthony now, right? He's not Big Anthony yet. On little Anthony's first birthday, there was a feast of all feasts. In the shade of the olive grove, the family and friends sat at tables piled high with food. On a separate table was the birthday cake. Papa stood to give a birthday greeting. Sit quietly, my son, and listen to Papa, Mama whispered to little Anthony. So Papa began to make his speech. So from everything we know about Anthony, does he listen well?
No.
No, he doesn't really pay attention, right? So let's see if he's able to sit quietly. So Papa gave his speech, but it was a long speech. And now Papa said, Feliz cumpleaños, which is Italian again for happy birthday. Anybody know some Spanish? Sounds a lot, right? Doesn't it sound like happy birthday in Spanish? Those languages are very similar. Good, see? So some of these Italian words, they seem kind of familiar, right? Awesome. All right. So, happy birthday to my little son. But Anthony was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly there was a loud crash. Everyone looked around, and there was little Anthony covered in cake. Said Nona Graziella. Little Anthony may be a bit of trouble. So, this is Nona Graziella, not Straganona, right? So, if Straganona means Grandma Witch, and Straga's the witch part, what do you think Nona means? That's nice. Well, it's Grandma. Perfect. So, Nona Graziella is probably his actual grandma, right?
I know some words in Spanish because my brother takes Spanish in middle school, and I know one word in German.
Do you?
Why I know how to say, hello, sugar. Do you speak any German? Here's how you say it. Oh, it's like a book for the witch.
That is very interesting. I don't know how often you're going to need to use it, but let me tell you this. Now you're going to know some words in Italian, right? Nice. All right. So, this is Nona Graziella. So she's probably his real grandma, right? Little Anthony began to grow. He's going to be a big boy, Nono Emilio said. He takes after my side of the family. Soon it was time for little Anthony to learn to drink out of a cup. Hold the cup in both your hands, Grandma said, and Anthony did. Lift it up, and Anthony did. Now drink. Just then a little bird sang. Ah, he spilled the milk all over himself, can you see? He doesn't pay attention, said Grandma. That's the trouble. So here he is, feeding the ducks. He's picking the lettuce. Oh, he let the goat eat the lettuce. Oh, I didn't even show you that page. Empty basket, but he's filling it with lettuce. And then he stopped paying attention, and what's happening? Goat's eating the lettuce. Boo. Well, not too happy about that. No lettuce for dinner. So now he's in school. There's his teacher. And his teacher tells him to put all the books on the shelf. He says, okay, on the shelf. I got it. But what did he do? He put everything else in that room on the shelf. That's a big shelf, huh? So, Dad says, all right, Big Anthony, time to go off into the world. Learn about life. Because they can't handle all his craziness anymore. So Anthony's leaving, saying goodbye to his mom here. Saying goodbye to the sheep. Okay? And so then, skip the page. Here he is leaving with his pack. He's ready to go. So he's walking all across Italy. Remember, we're in Italy. Anybody ever heard of the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Right? Okay, so it's leaning, right? It's been leaning for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay? So, last night, here's Anthony. He's leaning up against the tower down here to take a nap. You know, it's night. He wants to go to sleep. He wakes up. The birds woke him at dawn. He stood up, stretched, opened his eyes, and what he saw shocked him. The building he was leaning on leaned over. I must have leaned too hard against the wall, he said to himself, but I can fix it. And he rushed away to fix it before anyone was away. Down. Off he went down the road, pleased that he had fixed the tower. See how it's all straight now? He tied all those ropes around it. Are the people happy that he fixed it? No, it's supposed to be leaning, right? That's the whole point. Anthony. He goes and travels to Florence. He tries to get a job mixing paints. He mixes everything together. Have you ever mixed all your different paint colors together? What happens? It turns black. So you can't paint with it anymore. Do you think the painter was very happy with him? That everything's brown. No. He's not having any success anywhere he goes. He keeps traveling around and making these kind of mistakes because he's Big Anthony. And Big Anthony makes mistakes. Raise your hand if you've ever made mistakes. You've had a day where you just didn't do anything right all day. Well, Anthony's whole life is like that. Come back. Let's come back. Let's finish the story. We're gonna finish the story. We'll talk about it in a few. All right. So over here you can see. Let me take off the little post-it. He's leaving. The volcano's erupting behind him. Do you think that's his fault? Probably not. Do you think maybe he feels like it's his fault because he's had a really bad day? Maybe. He can't find anywhere he belongs. So Big Anthony headed south again until he came to the part of the country called Calabria. He walked down a hill and came to a little village. There in the town square was a sign. Someone needed a helper. Someone who lived in a little house up the hill. Big Anthony climbed to the hill to the little house and knocked on the front door. Who do you think was in this house?
Grandma Witch.
Dragonona, Grandma Witch. And that is how we met Dragonona. The rest is history. So what happens after this? The book we just read, the pasta pot. So he's about to cover that whole can of pasta, isn't he? So there are more stories written by Tommy D. Paolo. Okay? More stories about Stregonona. More stories about Big Anthony. We have more here if you want to check some out. Real quick, we're going to read one more book. It's called The Knight and the Dragon. So this is not a Stregonona Big Anthony book. This is a different one. Okay? It's a little bit shorter. Okay? It's written in 1990, so of all the ones we've read, this one is the newest. This book doesn't have too many words. The stories are told more through the pictures, so we're watching him draw. So here's the question. Is it better to be friends or to fight? What do you think? To be friends, right? Well, let's see what the Knight and the Dragon find out. Because are knights and dragons usually friends?
No.
Not usually. Okay? So, here we go. The Knight and the Dragon. Once upon a time, there was a knight in a castle who had never fought a dragon. And in a cave not too far away, there was a dragon who never fought a knight. So you see, there's the knight, and then in the cave here's the dragon. They've never fought, they've never even met. Are knights and dragons supposed to fight?
Yeah.
They're supposed to fight each other, right? That's kind of the whole point. So, the knight began to build some armor. So he's building his armor right here. He's working real hard, hammering it out. And then there, look at his suit of armor. It looks pretty good, huh? The dragon practiced swinging his tail. So he's studying his book, swinging. Pretty happy. He did a pretty good job, right? Seems like a kind of a happy dragon, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If I had to fight a dragon, I guess I'd want it to be a happy one. Meanwhile, back at the castle, what's he doing here? Making a sword, polishing his spears. There's a morning star. Basically making all his weapons, right? Getting ready to fight. Pretty proud, huh? I'd be proud if I made all that stuff. Meanwhile, back at the cave, we're looking in the mirror. He doesn't look too scary there, does he? This is kind of a happy face, right? There we go. Now we're getting kind of angry. Oh, now his eyes are red. Pretty scary in this one, at least compared to what he was, right? So he's getting ready. They're ready. So we're running, we're practicing, trying to stick the fake dragon. Did he do a very good job? No. He's stuck in that tree right now. So we're running. Trying to get this fake knight. Did he do a very good job? No, he missed him completely. Oh, there we go. He smashed up that dragon. And, oh, look, the fake knights are all on fire now. They're getting better, right? Let's see. Finally, the knight and the dragon were both ready. They sent each other a letter and set a time for the fight. See their letters? Alright, so here they go. They're getting ready to fight. I wonder what's going to happen. Let's see. Alright, we're running.